Okay, let's dive in. We're doing a deep dive today into some really interesting stuff you shared.
Yeah.
Specifically, these excerpts from a Josh Talks Indie interview with Rajneesh Arora. He's built this huge YouTube presence, but kind of flips the usual script.
That's right. And our mission here really is to unpack the key lessons from his whole experience, focusing not just on, how he built channels this big, but really understanding YouTube as a proper business,
Right.
the mechanics behind growth, and crucially, how he did all this without being the face, without being on camera.
Which, yeah, that immediately makes you think, wait, how? Because, most people picture a big YouTuber. They see the personality, right, front and center.
Exactly.
Rajneesh Arora's channels, though, they've reached, enormous scale. We're talking around 2 crore subscribers across them. That's like 20 million subs.
It's huge.
And getting roughly 1 crore views daily. That's 10 million views a day. Adding something like, 50,000 new subscribers every single day, all managed, like behind the scenes.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is kind of his background, how he even got started. He initially worked in animation, right? Making content for international clients.
No.
He saw the YouTube trend sort of bubbling up around maybe 2014, 2015. Clients started asking for YouTube stuff.
Ah, so the demand was there.
The demand started showing up, but he actually held back for a couple of years. He was worried about costs and hitting the quality needed for the platform.
So what was the push? What finally convinced him to, jump in?
It really clicked for him at this international market event. I think it was 2016.
Okay.
He saw creators there who were building these big YouTube audiences, planning content for global viewers, but they weren't the on-screen talent themselves.
So he saw proof it could be done that way.
Exactly. That's where the inspiration really hit him. He realized, okay, this is a path he could take using his animation and production skills.
So he starts his first channel in 2016. Was it like, boom, overnight success?
Oh, absolutely not, no. He's super clear it took time. He talks about a solid year, maybe 12, 15 months of just trying different things, experimenting, before a video finally kind of unexpectedly went viral.
And what was that like, that first viral moment?
Well, that first hit, getting 11 lakh views, so 1.1 million views, literally overnight while he was asleep.
Huh. Imagine waking up to that.
Right. That was the big turning point. He saw the potential, the sheer reach. The video was watched in 40 countries. That gave him this huge boost of confidence that, okay, this can actually work.
Okay, so he gets that first taste of success. But then, how do you keep it going? How do you grow it strategically, especially from behind the camera? He talks a lot about understanding how YouTube really works, right?
Yeah, this is where the mindset shifts. His core advice. Move away from just spamming your friends and family with your videos.
Right. We've all done that probably.
Yeah, and they might click, sure, out of support, but they often don't watch for very long. And YouTube sees that signal clicks, but short watch time, and it interprets that negatively. It hurts your video's potential reach.
So YouTube isn't just counting clicks. It's looking at the quality of the view, how long people stick around.
Precisely. It's all about those consumption signals. How long are people actually watching? Are they engaging? Liking, commenting, sharing, adding to playlists. Those are the vital signs YouTube uses to figure out if your content is genuinely good and valuable to viewers. Your job, fundamentally, is making great stuff for a specific audience.
And the algorithm's job is to find those people.
Exactly. You need to make content that helps the algorithm find viewers who are genuinely interested in your niche.
And I guess the data, the analytics, play a huge part in guiding that.
Oh, absolutely. This brings up such an important point about analytics. YouTube's backend gives you incredibly powerful data.
Like what specifically?
Well, it shows your thumbnail click-through rate, basically, how tempting your title and image are. It shows audience retention, how long people are watching, and crucially, where they drop off.
Oh, the drop-off points.
Yeah. These aren't just numbers. They're signals. If a video has a high click-through rate and people watch a good chunk of it, that's a really strong signal that your audience loves that specific type of content.
So you analyze those signals, not just to make the exact same video again, but to understand the essence of what worked.
Exactly that. You decode the signals to refine your whole approach, right? To make better content in that vein and just understand viewer behavior better. Decoding these signals, acting on them, that's crucial for sustained growth.
It really sounds like it's less about chasing those one-off viral moments and much more about building a strategy informed by data over the long haul.
Absolutely. And he frames YouTube as a long-term business. He even uses this analogy like a child learning to crawl, then walk, then run. Success isn't instant.
Right.
It takes time, consistent effort, and, constantly learning about your viewer and how the platform itself is changing.
And being a business means thinking about money too, right?
For sure. Not just earnings, but revenue you can reinvest. To hire a team, maybe, improve production, facilitate more growth, it fuels the engine.
And the platform itself keeps evolving too. You can't just stick to one thing.
Yes, he really stresses staying updated, looking beyond just the traditional long-form videos, leveraging things like shorts, live streams, premieres. That's vital now.
Shorts seem huge for discovery.
Definitely. They can be a massive engine for pulling in new subscribers. And then as the business matures, you can think even bigger. Expand beyond YouTube entirely, maybe merchandise, developing apps, or even games tied to your content.
So, okay, wrapping this up, what does all this mean for you, the listener, whether you're thinking of being on camera or maybe building something behind it, like Aurora?
Well, I think it means YouTube success, especially at scale. It's genuinely a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. It takes that strategic thinking,
Yeah.
prioritizing viewer consumption, watch time, engagement, way above just raw views from people you know.
Using those analytics as critical signals to guide your content strategy. Changing dynamics.
It really is about building a business.
Yeah.
Deliberately,
Mm-hmm.
piece by piece, over time.
Yeah. And maybe just connecting this back to the bigger picture. Given how much Rajneesh Arora emphasizes analyzing viewer behavior and algorithm signals through data, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much does success in this kind of landscape depend on, say, pure creative vision versus really sharp strategic data analysis? Where's that balance?
That's a great question. Definitely something to think about.